All right, today we got the iENYRID. I think I pronounced that right, probably not. But this is the M4 Pro S Plus. I know it's a mouthful, but this is their scooter that has a seat, but you don't have to use the seat. Really, this is kind of a budget entry level, if you would, off-road extreme scooter. And it's weird to say that, but we have tested stuff like this before on the channel, and I gotta tell you, I can't believe they're able to do all these features at this price. Now, this is what the scooter looks like in the whole. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not riding it. My son's riding this. I'm a little too big for a scooter like this, but this is good enough for, he's on the smaller side at 13. My daughter's 15 on the taller side. She could wear it. I've got a friend he's like 5'10", 5'11". He can ride it. So I would say, middle older kid to, a smaller adult, kind of, maybe even a mid-sized adult, probably smaller adult. Anyway, point is, you can put the seat on it, or you can take the seat off of it if you want the traditional scooter kind of thing. You're going for that extreme sports kind of thing. But I like the hybrid nature of this. And again, I keep getting drawn back to the fact, because I have tested what was like the Eagle Pro or something else like that. It was ridiculously expensive, and it was super fast, and it died within a couple months or something. This is not, this is not that. This is I want to say it's a budget concept. It's an affordable concept for this kind of things, because it has a bunch of these features that we're going to talk about in a minute. And you can see where my son, he's riding here through town. We live here in Livingston, Montana. And I got to tell you, each one of these street transitions is not comfortable. I've ridden my e-bike around, and every time you get to an intersection, you kind of wince just a little bit, because, we get a ton of snow and a ton of rain, and they have to build all the streets for runoff, which means that every time you hit an intersection, it's like going through whoop-de-doos. The scooter is also foldable. I should point that out. It doesn't collapse to the point where it's like, oh, super easy, I'll sling it on my back. It's still a fairly decent-sized scooter, but it does make it foldable, so you can throw it in your trunk or put it in a closet or something. Makes it compact for storage and for transportation. Now let's talk about the features. The display on this thing is insane. This is a better display than I've seen on most e-bikes, and we've tested a ton of those. It's a huge display. It's super easy to read when it's not super bright out. It's not the greatest in super bright light, but honestly, you're not usually looking at the display. But let's talk about the features I've been teasing about. How about front shocks on this? That's a huge one on scooters, because so many of these scooters are they're not even just hardtails. They're just hard. No shocks, no springs, nothing. This has got really nice, if not super long throw, but decent little front shocks. And then it also has 10-inch tires, air tires, all the way around, which means that you're going to get that kind of, the tires are going to act as suspension. And if you see there, it's got rear suspension as well. So this thing is full suspension with air tires. That's 3 different levels of suspension on this. Now, on top of that, it's also got dual mechanical disc brakes, which means that you're going to have some stopping power. Now, at first I was like, I wish they were hydraulic, but the reality is hydraulic might grab a little too fast. So mechanical is probably the best way to go, because again, it's short wheelbase. You don't want to go over the handlebars, which is good because it's got an 800 watt hub motor. Understand, most e-bikes are between 500 and 750. 800 watts on this is ridiculous, honestly, and I would not recommend going full speed in most situations when you're around cars and stuff. But with that suspension, you can handle it. On top of that, look at the battery. 48 volt, 12.5 amp hours. That, again, you're at most standard e-bike levels with this. I'm just astounded to see this in a scooter. It really feels like they took a lot of features that should have made it cost a lot more. But I'll be honest, when you're looking at it, when you feel it, you could feel that it's a budget build, all right? But I love that they've got these features in it for people who are looking for that stuff on a budget. Here you can see the folded length, the width of the handlebars, the total length overall, the weight capacity, all the specs. You can pause it if you want to get a better look at it. But let's do a walk around here. We're over at the lake here, and you get a nice padded seat, really well made. The handlebars have good grips on them. Again, I can't say enough about that display. It's got the telescoping, handlebar set up there so you can make it higher and lower. It's got the front headlight. Honestly, the front headlight to me was kind of like, it's nice, but they call it an off-road headlight. It's not an off-road headlight. It's something there to let people see you, so hopefully cars will see you and not run into you. But I mean, look at the tread on this. The wide board to stand on, which is also great when you're sitting. It's a comfortable ride. The kids love riding it. We usually keep a scooter like this at the shop, so when the kids are helping out, I can send them out to get parts. I can send them to get lunch or whatever. I can send them to the store. I can do all sorts of, send them all sorts of errands there. But it's got a nice little kickstand. They'll sit there on its own. The controls on it are big, easy to see, easy to press, easy to read. You got the horn right there, so you can beep at people who are getting in your way. The screen, by the way, doesn't flash like that. That's the shutter on the camera making it look like that. So don't worry about that. I will say it for being a budget. I keep going back and forth with this budget thing, and I feel like at some levels I say it too much, and maybe at some levels I don't say it enough because I talk about all the features it has as well. It is the third the price of other scooters that we have reviewed that have similar features. Now, is it as good? Is it as good off-road as the other ones? No, it clearly isn't. And I don't think I would recommend buying this as an extreme sports scooter. But for an around town, maybe going off on a gravel road kind of thing, going across the lawn, just city kind of off-roading, yeah, I think it's actually pretty decent. If you want to go to their website, it's on sale right now, and I'm going to include a link to their website and a link to Amazon because prices fluctuate back and forth. We're around Easter right now, so we got some Easter deals going on. But on their website, it's $509 with free shipping. But if you go over to Amazon, it's currently $489 with free shipping. It's the exact same thing. It's iENYRID, and however they pronounce it. They're selling it through both locations, so it's shipped by iENYRID over on Amazon. So check them out. Anyway, thanks to iENYRID for sending this for review.